Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new document in Vectr, save a document to your hard drive, and also export a document as a SVG, a PNG, a JPEG, or a vector. So let's get started here. Let me show you, first of all, it's better to log into Vectr. Otherwise, there's a kind of you can't save a document, while you're doing something if you don't log in. So what I'm going to do is, uh, if you notice, I went to vectr.com. Okay, if you haven't, you should create an account, and that's pretty simple. Okay, you don't have to pay for anything. It's not going to ask you for no credit cards or anything like that. So once you have done that, let's go ahead and log in. So this is what, once you've logged in, if you have documents, it'll be listed in here. And so if you have some documents that are here and you don't want them there, you can just delete them by just clicking on that delete button. So the first thing we're going to do is I want to show you how to create a new document. Okay, so to do that, on the left hand side, you have this thing that says new artwork, right? Now, the first thing you do is click here. If you look to the right, it's always going to come up as pixels. Okay, even though it's a vector program, it wants to start as pixels, and all you have to do is go in here and change it to whatever you like. I prefer inches. Okay, when you click on inches, you'll notice that there's a little lock here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it locked so you can see what happens. First, I'm going to change this to 8.5 for 8.5 by 11. If you notice on the right hand side, it changed it to 8.5, right? But if you unlock this, then you can turn around and change it to 11. So now it's a 8.5 by 11. I prefer using 96 dpi for the web. Okay, that's if you were going to print, you would do 150 line per inch, or you would do 300 line per inch. Depends on what you're going to print this in. So this is just for the web in my case, so I'm just going to put 96 dpi. Now, once you've done that, you can go ahead and title it, and I'm just going to call this today's date, August the 1st, 2022, and then and I'm just going to put new project. Okay, and then so you hit create. So you see this thing, the spinning wheel. Once it stops spinning, then you know it's saved. Okay, so that's how you're going to create a new document. Now, let's go ahead and just, we're not going to get into learning all these little tools here, but I'm just going to go in here, draw a star, draw a square, a rectangle here, and just some items, right? Here, let me go in here. Okay, so anytime that you want to fill this page to fit it right in the center, if you hit Control-0, it'll fit it to the window. Okay, so that's one command you probably want to learn, because if you're right here, if you're playing with this and then you want to get it back to 100% or fill everything to the window, you got to go in here, and sometimes like if you're down here, like if you're here, when you try to enlarge, it's gonna move everything to the left, right? So if you hit Control 0, then it'll put it right into the window. Now, at this point, you can go ahead and hit Control S to save it. Now, it's asking if you want to export it, right? I don't want to export it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off of it, and then I'm going to go back to my home page. Okay, so if I go to my home page, well, for some reason it didn't save it. So let's go forward. Let's go back to that page, right? Okay, so one thing you can do if you want to save this to your hard drive, this is what you would do. Okay, again, either you can click here to page options, and you can add a page, or you can just, let's say you want another page, you would add a page, right? But if you want to export this is what you would do. You click right here, you would go in, and either you can export it as a SVG, PNG, JPEG, or Vector. And if you wanted to keep the same format, you want to save it as a Vector. Okay, now it's not giving you the option to change anything, because all you're doing is exporting it, right? So if I click download, okay, now it is gonna be saved when you go to vectr.com. Remember a while ago we didn't see it? So now if I go to vectr.com, I'm just gonna get out of here, and I'm just I'm gonna close off of here, and then I'm just gonna go to vectr.com. Okay. Then I'll log in. Now you notice there's that document, okay? And it named it. I named it, but for some reason it just called it untitled. Now, so let's say that you want to save this into your hard drive. If you go right here to the left-hand side, which it is really on your hard drive, but let's say you want to find it. If you click here and you show in folder, it's going to open up this dialog box, which is open up on one of my other windows, and it's going to show it right here. Okay, so that's that one that we saved. So if you want to save it to your desktop, what you would do is I'm just going to drag it to my desktop. Okay, that way I know where it's at. Otherwise, you would have to go to your downloads and find it there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete this too right here. Need those. Okay, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, so let's go back to Vectr. So that's how you can save it to your desktop or to your hard drive or whatever folder you want. Now, let's say that you wanted to open it up. I have it here where I could open it, right? So I just click on open, and it'll open it. Now, another way, so let's go back, that you can open one of this Vectr artworks. You can go open file. Remember, we saved it to the desktop. So if I click desktop, then we're going to find that document. So if I click on it, hit open, then it'll open it. You can make changes to it, and then you're gonna re-export it, and it's gonna save it to that same page. Okay, so let's make some changes to it. Okay, and all right. So the next thing, we saved it as a vector, right? There's other ways that you can save this. You can export it as a SVG, PNG, JPEG, or a vector, of course, which we've already done. Each one of them has different characteristics when you're bringing it into different documents. Whenever, let's say that you wanted to remove all this white area, and when you brought this document in to a, let's say you wanted to bring it in to Word, and you wanted to place this on top of an image that was, let's say, a solid red or a solid blue. If you didn't save it as a PNG, all this white would look white. But if you save it as a PNG, the white would be clear. It would be transparent. Okay, so now to do that, what you would do is you would click here. You would save it. In this case, you would save it to a PNG. And now watch what happens if you save it to JPEG. You see how it turns white? So the background would be white if you would import this and place it on top of a Word document, or even if you were using a program that that we use to record and to alter things, it would be a white page, right? So if you wanted the white to be clear, you would save it as a PNG. You would download it, and now in the same area that it saved it last time, it saved it as a PNG. So at this point, let's say that I wanted to put this and put it in a different folder, you could just put it in there. Now, so basically that's all it is to opening and saving documents. Stay tuned to some of my other videos. I'll show you how to use a lot of this different tools. Okay, so if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to me. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.